Hi friends, welcome back to Means of Escape, and in today's episode, I wanted to show you guys how we pack up the inside of the RV when we move. So I mentioned this in a couple previous episodes, but we made a list of what we do to break down our RV both on the inside and on the outside. I typed it up and then I laminated it and then I highlighted some spots on it. Ryan makes fun of me for this, but it's so helpful because you don't want to be without the list because bad things happen when you're without a list. Ryan normally runs around, he takes care of the outside stuff, and I'm in here taking care of breaking down the inside for the most part. And again, your list, you know, it can be whatever you need it to be. Like this is, I'll just let you pick my brain for a second. This is what we have in our list, but it's going to be whatever, you know, your RV needs are. So I have it separated by the different rooms. And then I have some of it highlighted. So that's kind of like phase one. So go with me on this. The things that are highlighted, I have for like things that need to get put away, but you don't necessarily need them. Like you don't need to have your decorations up right until you're ready to move. You can put those away a few days earlier. So if you know you're gonna move but you're not gonna move pretty quickly, you can put some stuff away like phase one. You can put your decorations away a couple days early. Hurricane season, we had to leave for Hurricane Laura like a year ago, but we didn't know exactly when we needed to leave. We wanted to kind of time it out right with the traffic, with the weather, what day, all that stuff. So I packed up phase one, and then once we got the timing right, that's when we packed up so we knew when we were gonna leave. I have little check marks on it so you can check mark, make sure everything's done, taken care of. So I wanted to show you this list and go around and actually show you what I do to check them off. So let's go. Okay, so we're in the guest room. I like to work in the back of the rig and then work my way up. This is a slide. So here on the couch, this part comes in. So I like to work on here, get this cleared up, close it up, and then move on to the rest of the house. Secure our vinyl doors. So in here, we have all of our records. I talked about how this used to be just a plain open space, and then Ryan and his dad just made doors that closes up. But this is where we keep all of our records for our record player. But we don't want them just jutting out mid-transit. So we close this up, and then we have like a piece of, I don't know, paracord, and then we kind of just loop it and we just tie it up real tight. Ryan's normally better at tying knots than I am, so he normally does that bit. Then we have this loft area. We converted it into storage. We have all of our boots and stuff up here. So what we do is Ryan got this like bungee netting, and then he drilled, I don't know if you can see, some D-rings, pretty big D-rings, like 4 of them on each side. And then we were able to lay the netting over here, hook onto the D-rings, and then this stays put. Like it doesn't go anywhere. It's pretty secure. So that's pretty good. Pick up all of Ranger's toys. The last thing you want is one of his toys getting wedged right there under on the wall, and then the slides coming in and it just stalling and breaking everything. So I would say before we move everything in, that's on the list. Definitely pick up Ranger's toys. He has his own basket right here, all of his good stuff. Just make sure that's good, put away, good to go. This is also a bunk that we made into a coat closet. We want to lay it down. We lay it down before we travel because the last thing we want is for us to shake or hit a pothole or whatever and it comes crashing down, and this could break. It could do some pretty serious damage if we're not careful. So it lays down while we travel.
Did you just find a cave? You silly.
Also, please remember to always check the corners between the wall and your slide. I tend to keep stuff in the corners. It's just really nice place to put skinny stuff like my brooms and my mops and stuff. But if you forget about your corners, you can risk really seriously damaging items or even your rig when you try and push the slides in. So check the corners of your slide outs. By the way, if you have a dog in your RV who has never seen a slide go in, it's the funniest thing. They don't understand what's happening, and it takes them a minute to realize that the walls are closing in, and their reactions are hilarious. It's okay, baby. Good boy. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the slide in. You can tell how thin it is. One thing I didn't put on the list, and I probably should, was before you close everything in, to make sure that your blinds are down, because you really can't reach it that easily. Yeah, you can't reach it that easily once the slides are in. Another thing is with the lights. I just did this. I forgot. So that light was on as I was pulling this in. I don't know if you can tell. That light was on. So if I had forgotten that, I would have to pull the slide back out just to turn that light off. So make sure you turn your lights off. If you have like a vent here or something that you can mark on, like I'm gonna go over it again, like on pencil, but like I would mark like how far your slide goes in, because it comes in really handy for you to be able to decide if you want to fit anything in this space. Like we tend to fit, like, I don't know, guitars or other like chunkier things that we want to travel in this space, but we don't know if it's gonna fit once the slide comes in. So if you have it marked, you can be able to tell, okay, the slide comes up to this point. So we're in the bathroom, and as you can see, I have all of our soaps and the shower head. I pulled the shower head off of the wall, and it's just laying here in the tub. That just keeps it from falling and damaging in transit. What else do I have in here? We put our trash can. We had our trash can. We have a scale. You know, the toilet bowl scrubber, stuff like that. We have it, and we placed it in the cupboard in here, so that's good to go. And then even the soaps, like we normally have the soaps that live on the counter, we just lay them down in the sink. Our toothbrushes, see, we have a little housing space for the toothbrushes, and they travel like this. They don't go anywhere. They're pretty sturdy. So they live there. What else do I have in here? Empty this cubby, so like this stays open. This houses like our toothpaste and you know, Q-tips and stuff. So we empty this, go ahead and put that in the medicine cabinet. And then I would normally put my hair stuff down in the cabinet as well. And then we have what would normally be towels here. We just, you know, throw them in the hamper. You know, we get rid of them so they don't fall on the floor. Same with this one. I should throw that one in the hamper. We have a Scentsy, so that'll go away. That'll probably go under the cupboard as well. Just it's really like flimsy anyway. Like we bump it and it falls. So I would definitely get rid of that while we're driving. But that's about it in this space. It's pretty small, so there's not much else you need to do in here. So for my dishes, I have accumulated over time these felt cloths, these felt material that perfectly sized to wedge in between like my plates, my bowls. These are already a pretty durable material, so they're not gonna crack or anything for the most part, knock on wood, but they just sit in them, and it's just a little bit more cushion as they travel, so they don't rattle too hard, they don't crack anything. So I have enough to layer each bowl, each plate, and then they ride up there. And then I also have like this cheesecloth, stuff like that, same material kind of, that I sit and kind of work around all of my mugs. I typically keep my mason jars. I do have mason jars I used to keep up here, but now I've completely moved them into the pantry to live, and they travel really well. They don't shatter or anything. For my caddies, my utensils, they fit perfectly in the pantry. So I just stick them in the pantry, and then we actually tie up the pantry closed. We have had some stuff fly out, like some spices. Nothing's like shattered or broken or anything, but some like McCormick plastic, spices, they're really light, so they just tend to fly out. So we tie the pantry shut. So these go away, and then the knives, we realized that if you take the sharpener away, it actually fits perfectly in the sink. So that's pretty handy, and it's not going anywhere when you're rolling. So that's pretty fun. And then we just stick this in a drawer somewhere. So I wanted to show you our oven situation. So this is our pizza stone. So it's a pizza stone. So if you hit it the wrong way, it'll crack. So we don't want it traveling just free. Anything can happen to it. It would crack. So we actually kept the box that it came in, and we put that in the box every time we leave, and then it goes away in a safer place. And then coffee pot, it just goes up in a cupboard. And then here we already keep all of our baking sheets in here to live, but they travel well. But our mason jar, our cast iron skillet, which normally lives on the stove regularly, will go in here, and it doesn't crack or it doesn't hurt it at all. Okay, the living room. You can see we got rid of some decor. We put them below. We've closed the shades, the blinds, so they don't accidentally like yank down or something. So the computer we take with us in the truck. We unplug everything, make sure we check the corners, unplug everything there. The decor here, it stays, and it even stays, it's thin enough that the slide passes over it, so it's not that big a deal. We got rid of the star, just anything off the walls that will fall, we took off the wall. I turned off the CB. Ryan will have to disconnect it from the antenna that's outside, so he handles all of that before we bring this slide in, or else we're pulling on some cords. So something to be made aware of if you have a setup like ours. But yeah, so we got rid of any DVDs that were just laying on top. We put them in place. This is for our TV. Ryan added some paracord to it, so it's just easier to control. If you pull this cord and shove the TV back, it will stay in place. Since the TV normally comes out and swivels towards the couch, we want to make sure that's locked in place so that it doesn't come out while we're driving. We're in the bedroom, and the first things we need to do that is pretty important so that we don't ram the doors through the wall, is to strap them in to their cupboards. They Ryan added these. They had some like really flimsy plastic ones, so Ryan replaced them with leather. There's 3, top, bottom, and middle, that snap in like that, and it doesn't go anywhere. So it could rock, it could like sway back and forth, and it's not going to go anywhere. Before, when we had the flimsy plastic, it did, and it broke open, and it would slide. The whole thing would come out, and that was no good. So we keep these secure and tight in their placements. We have a TV in the bedroom that comes down. I won't demonstrate because Ryan's way better at it than I am. It is on a mount that is specifically for RVs, so it comes off and out, and we just go ahead and lay it right here right here on the bed, and we strap it down. So on both sides of our bed, we each have our own cubbies, nightstand cubby things. So to keep those the stuff in there from falling out, we just go ahead and stuff, I don't know if you can tell, we stuff our pillows in the cubbies to keep things from flying out. We have my jewelry frame that Ryan built me, that stays up. The jewelry, it hangs pretty well. I mean, it's not that big a deal if any of it falls out. The shoes also stay. Again, it's just if they fall down, they fall down. It's it's not the end of the world. I think that's about it in this space. Sometimes if we feel like there's items in the loft that are too heavy, we go ahead and bring them in. We lay them here on each side. The last thing you want is for your RV to be back heavy. If there's too much weight in the back end, you're gonna fishtail, and that's really scary. You don't want to do that. So the bedroom is the last thing that we do before we then close this slide, the living room slide in. And that's it. That's how we break down in the RV, the inside of the RV. Comment below, let us know if you have any questions about how we break down. Again, it's different for everybody, but we strongly encourage that you make a list. You just want that list to come in so handy so you're not frazzled or flustered trying to remember what to take down, what to strap together, stuff like that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. To our move, so we go ahead and put that away. Stuff like that. Oh my gosh. What? Again, Ranger, everyone. Oh, buddy.
Are you hogging the camera? Mama, the camera loves me.